Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about another roster decision for the Houston Astros going in to announcing the 28-man opening day roster for the Houston Astros, which it is, it hasn't been officially announced by Dusty, but it is looking like the Astros, they're going to take some time to, announce this. Now, the expected time could be after these two games against the Space City Cowboys, our minor league team, which will be over Tuesday. So I think a good timetable for this whole 28-man roster to be announced should be on Wednesday. I would probably bet Wednesday morning you see the 28-man roster announced. But we're going to be talking about someone who I really like for the Astros and I think has a really decent shot to make the roster for the Houston Astros. I didn't really know if they had a shot, but before Altuve got hurt, but now that he's got hurt, the Astros need some, with Dubon and Hensley, two guys who were supposed to be, Dubon and Hensley, they were supposed to be the new Aledmys Diaz. Now those two guys, they're going to be more of the starters for the 2 months of the season. I'm sure Hensley, it just depends on who's playing better with that second base, who's playing better at the position with Hensley and with Hensley and Dubon. So Hensley and Dubon, they were supposed to be the new utility guys with Aledmys Diaz heading out. With them being more focused on whether it's Dubon or it's Hensley, with those two guys being more focused at the second base position with Jose Altuve hurt, I think JJ Matijevic is a guy who has a lot of potential to make the 28-man roster. He's a guy who's already on the active roster, which is like 32 guys on the active roster right now. It needs to go down to 28, so that means 4 guys need to be cut off. I'm thinking it's going to be 2 guys on the pitching. I think it's going to be Seth Martinez and Parker. I don't know how to say his name. And then it will probably be Brandon Bielak and then someone else, and I don't know who that's going to be. Bly Madris. It'll be Bly Madris, who is a left fielder, and he'll be sent to the minors. So all those guys will be probably won't make the 28-man, and then JJ Matijevic makes it on. So in that case, the amount of positions that he can play, he's a really good utility guy. Mainly plays first base. And with Jose Abreu probably being an everyday starter, you ain't going to see him much at first base, but he plays second. I don't think he can't play. He doesn't play third, but he plays shortstop. He plays left field, and if I'm not mistaken, he also plays right field. So you can play him at right there. You can play him at 5 positions. So he's a really nice utility guy. With Dubon, you can't play Dubon at that many positions. With Dubon, you can play him at second. You can play him at short. I don't think you can play him at third. You can play him at right, and you can play him at center, and I don't think he plays left. With Hensley, he's all over the place. Hensley plays first base, he plays second base, plays third base, plays shortstop, plays right field, plays left field. So Hensley plays 6 positions. So you got Dubon playing 4 positions, you got Matijevic playing 5, and you got Hensley playing 6. I know it's going to be awful that the Astros lost out on Aledmys Diaz. He's gone. But these guys right here, JJ Matijevic and David Hensley and also Mauricio Dubon, are some great utility replacements. And they're all going to come together and be a great trio. Now, I think Matijevic will be on the roster until Altuve comes back, but does he stay until after that? After Altuve comes back, that's a good question to see. But there's a lot of time to come to that. But let's go over his stats in spring training. 240 batting average, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 9 hits, and then in the regular season, that was in 35 at-bats in spring training, and then the regular season in 14 games and about 35 bats as well. He had 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, but did not play as much as he did in spring training compared to his time in regular season. I think he would play way more in the regular season this year than he did last year. Do I think he's a big part of this team? I think he's a guy who can at least get us 6 home runs and 25 RBIs if he's efficiently playing for the Astros. And not like an everyday guy, but if he's playing decently, I think he's a guy who can produce for us. So I would like to see if he gets on the run. I think he makes it. I really do. But the question is how long is he on it? Because he's a guy who's gonna, he can make it, but he's not. There's a chance he's not there for long. So be interesting to see what happens with. I'm thinking about Justin Dearden as well because he's a guy who could make it as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with JJ Matijevic and seeing if he makes the roster. I think there's definitely a chance just because of that second base spot because he can play that second base. He can play at that second base position, and all of those guys. Dubon, Matijevic, and Hensley, they can all, go back and forth at that second base position while Jose Altuve is out. So I think that's why Matijevic has a really good chance of making the 28-man roster is because of the second base situation with Jose Altuve being out for the next 2 months. You guys have your thoughts on JJ Matijevic and his potential chance of making the 28-man opening day roster? That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed and let me know your thoughts. Peace out. Go Astros.